G'day guys and welcome back. This week's video will be a little bit different to usual. It doesn't contain a response video or a reaction video. It's just me talking about something that's happened. Now, it does touch on a small conspiracy, but you'll see what I mean about that shortly. As many of you know, over on Discord, I have recently gone to hospital for a test. Now, this is nothing serious, don't worry, okay? It's fine. It's all fine. It was just a test, a routine test. But it got me to thinking, what happens when we are under anaesthetic? Now, during my time under anaesthetic, I have been under four different times. Two for operations, so they were the general anaesthetic, and two for exams. So they were more the sedative type. I'm not 100% on the difference between the two. I only found out about them this last time. Now, when I went this last time, I spoke to the anesthesiologist and I asked her about, first off, how long I would be under for. Because I'd always thought that when I'm under anesthetic, it feels like hours have gone by. Even though I would just feel the cold of the anesthetic as it enters the bloodstream, and then bang, awake again, straight away. But this time, she told me that I would only be under for about 15 minutes, and it wasn't a general anesthetic. It doesn't knock you out, make you unconscious. It's a sedative that, well, you know what a sedative does. It kind of puts you to sleep, kind of keeps you awake. Yeah, it's in the middle. And I was wondering if people woke up during this time. And she explained to me that people don't actually wake up. You're awake the whole time. You just never remember it. And I said to myself, if that's the case, I really want to remember something from this. I want to know what's going on, even though it would be really unpleasant for me to wake up through it. And this time I did. I don't know how it happened, but somehow during the procedure, I pulled the IV out of my hand, and I remember them putting it into my other hand and speaking to them, and them speaking to me. And they're like, don't panic, it's fine, just relax. And I did just relax. And I did speak to them. I think I was coherent, I probably wasn't. And this got me to thinking, when people say they die on the operating table and they see the light and they have to go towards the light. Now, this is where the conspiracy part comes into it. What if those people are waking up or coming to under the effects of anesthesia, and then they're seeing those big surgical lights? I know this has been done to death, and it does seem like the only plausible response is that is what is actually happening. Because when you're under anesthetic, it's kind of like dying. Like when you're under general, you don't wake up, you don't dream at all, and you're not aware of what's even going on because they're cutting into you. Like the very first time I went under general, I had my appendix removed. And all I remember, this is a funny story, I was in the prep room. It's where you go before you have your actual operation. And I looked over, and there was this doctor. And he looked crazy, like absolutely crazy. Like he had the grey, scraggly hair, and he wide-eyed, and you're thinking, okay, he's been up all night. He's in the break room. He's going, I'm fine. He's not going to be my surgeon. Then they wheel me into the operating room, and guess who leans over me and says, hi, I'll be your surgeon today. Well, you saw that coming. But I do remember when they put me under, I had the IV was up here instead of in here where it normally goes for that sort of thing. And I remember I'm laying there like this, And they said, okay, we're going to put you under now. And I was thinking, okay, I've seen movies, they're going to put the mask on, you breathe in and you get in slow. And all I felt was just this small cold, just here. Bang, out. Next thing I know, I'm coming to, I'm like, whoa. I don't really remember coming to that well. The second time was to have a camera down the throat to check the stomach. And that time, it was the same again. Felt the cold, out like a light. Woke up. I remember waking up for that one because as I woke up, I just did this massive, horrendous fart. It was so loud. And that's what actually woke me up. I'm like, oh. And it was hilarious. Just trust me, it was hilarious. And then they came round, they checked me, they asked me if I wanted tea or coffee, something to eat, and that was great. And I did that. Then the third time was end of 2019, and I had an operation. So that was another one where I was under full general. And when I came to from that one, I was screaming in agony. I was in so much pain. I won't go into details what it was an operation for, but let's just say it hurt a lot. Like, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. And then this most recent one, I had another camera put in me. Details don't matter. You can guess just based on that. And this, as I said, I came to during it. And then I remember coming to afterwards as well. Now, for me, every time I've been under anaesthetic, an interesting thing happens afterwards. If I need the toilet, I'll go, and for a few seconds, I'll be standing there, and it's like my bladder is trying to suck it in instead of push it out. It's quite bizarre. It's like I've got to tell my bladder, no, it's the other way around. You've got to push it out. It's really quite bizarre. I've heard horror stories of people coming to under general anaesthetic. Like a common one that I have heard is people having hip replacement surgery, and they will wake up in the middle of it with their leg basically straight up here, and a doctor just hammering like the joint, the hip joint, because it is so tough to get the ball in, because that's basically what your hip is. It's just like that. So I thought I would share these little stories with you and hopefully give you some insight as to what it's like to go under anaesthetic. Hopefully you never need to find out what it's like, but if you have any stories about being under anaesthetic or coming to, or what side effects you might have occurred from having anaesthetic, let me know in the comments, because I find it really fascinating. And apparently a lot of you do too, because this was a question I asked to my patrons, and they all said, yes, we want to hear about this. So I thought I'd just rant on about this. It's completely unscripted, and don't forget, you can join us over on Discord so you don't miss out on all these little behind the scenes kind of things that go on over there. The link is in the description as always. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video around to your friends so that they can learn a bit of what it's like to be under anaesthetic as well. I would like to thank you all so much for watching, and if you've made it this far, that's fantastic, because this is really rambly. And as always, a special thank you to Purple Haze, Caustic, and Lisa for their ongoing support over on Patreon. You can join Patreon and get to vote like they did on these videos. There are other patrons, and they voted as well, and that's all in the secret area on Discord. And so thank you all for watching, and until next time, friends, remember, don't be a dick.